I have a strange illness. I can only speak the truth. I can't force out even half a lie. Today in history class, the teacher calls on me to read from the textbook, but I can't get a single word out. That's when it hits me. The record of the Battle of Red Cliffs is just wrong. The history teacher's frown deepens, and I have no choice but to force out the truth. In the Battle of Red Cliffs, Cao Cao never burned a single ship. The history books got it wrong. My classmates burst out laughing. The teacher's face turns livid. The next day, I'm sent to the best hospital in the city. The doctor doesn't believe a word I say. From now on, repeat exactly what I say. Some of what I say will be true, some false. No problem. Let's begin. Birds fly in the sky. Birds fly in the sky. I didn't sneak the pudding out of the fridge. I can't get the words out. Yesterday at 3 p.m. I had a cup of black coffee in the duty room. You had a cup of black coffee in the duty room at 3 p.m. yesterday. The underwear I'm wearing today is black. You're not wearing any underwear at all. The doctor freezes, looking a little embarrassed. What? Are you sure you're not just guessing? I swear, it's not a guess. Fine, let's try the ultimate test. Try to guess this. We just had a car accident victim in the ER, badly injured. What happened to him in the end? You don't need to actually know the answer. Just silently run through every possibility in your head. Then try saying each one out loud. I do as he says. He's still alive. I can't get it out. He died despite the resuscitation attempt. I can't get it out. He was transferred to another hospital. Still can't get it out. Every guess feels like a clogged drain, until an absurd thought surfaces. That patient never existed. Exactly. That patient never existed. Looks like you really do have this truth-only condition. Even when you have no idea about something, you can silently eliminate every wrong answer until you land on the correct one. So is there a cure for this? That's still unclear. You're probably the first case in the world. Ever since my diagnosis, my ordinary high school life has turned completely upside down. The mood in class has been heavy these past few days. A girl in our class has been missing for 3 days now. Everyone. I know you're all worried about Sophie. The police are doing everything they can to investigate. All we can do right now is pray she comes back safely. After saying that, she walks over to me. Truman, your grades in Chinese have always been good. Make a sentence right now using the word hope to express the whole class's wish for Sophie's safe and early return. I open my mouth, my mind racing to form a sentence. I hope Sophie comes back safely. Can't say it. I hope we find Sophie soon. Still can't say it. Finally, I follow the one thought that can actually push past my throat and say it out loud, my voice shaking. I hope everyone can accept sooner that Sophie is already gone. The moment those words leave my mouth, the entire classroom falls so silent you could hear a pin drop. Truman, what nonsense are you spouting? How could you curse Sophie like that? Teacher, I have a condition. I can only speak the truth. This is my diagnosis. The teacher takes it, glances over it, and her face darkens. She immediately picks up the phone. Half an hour later, I'm taken to a conference room. A man walks in. Truman, don't be nervous. I already know about your condition. You said in class that Sophie is gone. Is that something your condition told you? I don't know. I can only say what's true. I can't say a lie. I understand. Now repeat after me. Sophie went missing 3 days ago. Sophie went missing 3 days ago, right after school let out. The last time she appeared on camera was in the alley behind the school's back gate. We police suspect she was abducted. We police suspect she was... I can't say it. Sophie left on her own. Sophie left on her own. She knows why she left. She knows why she left. Then try saying, I know where Sophie is. I can't. I don't know where Sophie is. That's fine, let's try a different approach. Silently run through possible locations in your head. The street, a mall, the riverbank, the mountains. I close my eyes and do as told. At home, at a classmate's house, at an internet cafe, in the suburbs, by the river. Every one of these thoughts slams into an invisible wall in my throat. Just as I'm about to give up, a chilling phrase flashes through my mind. Sophie is underground. Underground where? Be specific. The school's basement or a subway tunnel? I try hard to say, the school's basement. Can't. Subway tunnel. Still can't. I desperately search my mind for the one correct answer. Sophie is right beneath us. The conference room instantly falls dead silent. Captain Shu's face stiffens as he stares down at the polished tile floor. He looks back up at me. Half an hour later, a construction crew arrives. Right here, pry it open, hurry. 10 some minutes later, a hole is cut into the floor. Captain Shu, it's hollow underneath, and there's a large suitcase. My heart leaps into my throat. Captain Shu climbs down immediately. The suitcase is dragged out soon after. They open it. It's empty, except for Sophie's dorm ID card. We found something of Sophie's. What exactly happened here? After saying that, he hands me the card. I look at it for only 2 seconds, and an icy, bone-deep certainty surges through my body like an electric current. The owner of this card no longer seems to exist in this world. The forensic examiner beside me freezes, then stares at me like I'm a lunatic. What exactly happened here? Captain Shu, don't listen to his nonsense. It's just a plastic card. How could you possibly conclude something like that? And saying she doesn't exist in this world, that defies all common sense. It doesn't hold up at all. I can't argue back because even I don't understand where this sense of mine comes from. He's not speaking science. He's speaking fact. Send the student ID to forensics immediately. Run the most thorough trace analysis possible. Also, reinvestigate everyone who had contact with Sophie the day she disappeared. Don't miss a single one. For the next 2 days, I don't go to school. Captain Shu says it's safer for me to stay home until he calls. Truman, come over. There's been a breakthrough in the case. We caught him. I rush over right away. The man caught is a repeat offender with a criminal record, named Sam Chang. We went through all the surveillance footage near the location where she disappeared, and found him loitering suspiciously in the alley behind the school during the exact time window. After we interrogated him, he's already confessed to abducting Sophie. So, our human lie detector here, help us read this case. Tell us what you sense. I take a deep breath, staring at Sam Chang in the interrogation room, trying to piece together the truth in my mind. He abducted Sophie, can't say it. He's telling the truth, still can't say it. He's never even met Sophie. Impossible. He even got the crime details right. And he gave up the location where he hid Sophie. Our team's already on the... Truman, could your ability be wrong this time? Just then, the office door bursts open. Captain Shu, bad news. Sam Chang just retracted his confession. It's all fake. I never kidnapped any female student. I don't even know her. Calm down. You confessed just now, and now you're taking it back. Are you playing games with us? I'm telling the truth. Someone paid me a large sum of money and gave me a script. Told me to recite it word for word. They said once it's done, they'd pay me more and help me disappear. Officer, I'm begging you. I just took the money and did the job. I don't want to go to prison. Every word out of Sam Chang's mouth lands on Captain Shu's chest like a hammer blow. Just then, the detective he'd sent out calls in. Captain Shu, this is just an abandoned warehouse that's been empty for years. There's nothing here. Nothing but dust. Not a soul in sight. The chain of evidence they'd painstakingly pieced together falls apart in an instant. In the forensics lab, a technician frowns deeply, repeatedly analyzing the call records from Sam Chang's phone. Captain Shu, it's not looking good. The caller's number was routed through at least a dozen virtual servers across different countries, relayed through so many proxies that we can't trace the source at all, and the call used a special voice changer. The audio track was encrypted. We can't recover his real voice at all. What about the money? Didn't he say he received a large sum? Trace the money trail. We already did. He was paid in a highly anonymous cryptocurrency, run through decentralized mixing transactions. Once the money left, it vanished like spilled water, sinking into a vast ocean of data. There's no way to trace the receiving address. It looks like whoever's behind this is using professional-grade counter-surveillance methods. Back home, I start frantically searching online, trying every keyword combination I can think of. Suddenly, a post catches my eye. But they all say the facts I state are wrong. They think I'm crazy, but I know I'm not. The facts I see are just different from theirs. Some facts I don't even dare to speak aloud. They may have already found me. Those things weren't meant for me to know. I never imagined there could be someone else out there like me. I immediately open a private message. Don't ask any more questions. They can monitor everything, delete every record. You're their next target. Run. Right after that, he sends a long, seemingly random string of numbers and letters. This is the only thing I can leave you. Don't trust anyone. I try to ask more, but the system says the user doesn't exist or has been deactivated. A chill shoots straight up my spine to the top of my head. What is going on here? What place is this coordinate pointing to? I follow it to the location and arrive at an abandoned old district. Scattered around are pieces of communication equipment. The walls are covered with photographs. I'm drawn almost against my will to a photo of Sophie pinned at the center of the wall. Beneath it are a few jarring words. Prime adapter. Progress. Located. Status. Redacted. Looks like Shadow is also investigating Sophie's case, and knows far more than I do. That's a photo of my dad when he was young. He died in a lab accident when I was 7. Why is his photo here? Beneath it are printed the exact same words. TruthGate project, first-generation researcher, cause of death highly suspicious. Was my dad's death never an accident at all? Truman, where have you been? You won't even answer your phone. Do you know how worried Mom's been about you? Mom, was Dad's death really an accident? I pull out my phone. On the screen is the photo of my dad that I just took. The worry on my mother's face instantly turns to terror. Where did you get this photo? Your father died in a car accident. It was just an accident. You're not allowed to ask about this again, do you hear me? Delete the photo. Delete it now. Her reaction is far too intense. I take a deep breath, trying to comfort her. Mom, Dad died in an accident. But the words feel like a red-hot iron jammed solid in my throat. Seeing this, my mother collapses onto the sofa. I turn and walk toward the room that's always kept locked. Truman, don't go in there. There's nothing inside. It's my father's study. A familiar smell of old paper mixed with faint mothball scent hits me. I start searching everywhere, hoping to find something my father left behind. Finally, I dig up an unmarked, old-fashioned black USB drive. I rush back to my room, lock the door behind me, and plug the drive into my computer. It asks for a password. My father's birthday, wrong. My birthday, wrong. Their wedding anniversary, wrong. Every number combination I can think of related to my father turns out wrong. Just as I'm about to give up, I remember the word written in that abandoned room. TruthGate. Unlocked successfully. Inside is a recorded message. My son, if you're hearing this, it means the thing I feared most has happened after all. Listen carefully, son. Your condition is not a flaw, nor is it a curse. It's a gift passed down through generations in our family. It lets you see past appearances straight to the truth that's been hidden, to hear the voices that have been erased. This is humanity's most original instinct, the eye of true knowledge that so many sages once dreamed of possessing. But it's also the heaviest of curses, because it lets you see far too much truth that you were never meant to see, in the eyes of those who seek to control everything. You are a fatal threat. They will find you. They'll use every means to study you, to exploit you, until every last ounce of your value is wrung dry. Trust no one, especially any authority figure who suddenly shows excessive interest in your condition. I've left you a lead, a person who goes by the codename Shadow. If he reaches out to you first, it means things have become extremely dangerous. If you can't reach him, don't hesitate. Do whatever it takes to find the clues he's left behind, and then find the key. The key that can fully control or end this gift. The truth itself holds no power, but once you see it clearly, the recording is suddenly drowned out by a burst of static that grows sharper and sharper. Then it cuts off abruptly. I stand there frozen for a long time. The next day, I follow the final clue Shadow hid within those coordinates. After waiting for a long while, a mysterious figure walks up. Are you Shadow? Truman, you've got more guts than your dad. Coming here alone. You knew my dad? Knew him? I knew him better than that. He's the only person in this world I'd ever call a friend, and the only one I'll always owe. What exactly is TruthGate, my condition, and my dad's death? What's really going on? Calm down, son. We don't have much time, so I'll keep it short. Your dad and I were both core researchers on the TruthGate project. It's not some ordinary research institution. It's a top-secret project controlled by a hidden, powerful organization, researching the link between human cognition and absolute truth. Exactly the kind of truth-only ability you and I have. That's right. Your condition isn't an illness you acquired. It's an extremely rare recessive gene expression, buried deep in the Chen bloodline. Under normal circumstances, it might never be activated in an entire lifetime, at most showing up as a bit of unusual intuition. But TruthGate found a way to artificially trigger and cultivate it. Trigger it? Suddenly all the pieces click together in my mind. Sophie's disappearance is connected to this. She's a carrier of the gene just like you, but she's more fortunate, or perhaps more unfortunate. Hers is a dominant expression. Her ability awakened earlier than yours and it's more stable. TruthGate didn't take her just for study. They wanted to extract her genetic sequence, to use her genes as a key to activate and control their next target. So that's it. Sophie's disappearance, and that scapegoat Sam Chang. All of it was just to lure me in. They're nothing but a bunch of lunatics. A cult of fanatics armed with dangerous technology. They're not satisfied with mere research. They want to weaponize this power that touches the very nature of truth, using it for surveillance and interrogation, even to pursue more horrifying ambitions. Things like the so-called ultimate decoding of consciousness and digital resurrection. Your father was the first to realize their true ambitions. He wanted to destroy the data, escape with the core secrets, and stop this project from sliding into the abyss. But they're here. Run. Truman, get down. Don't raise your head. By the time I come to my senses, Captain Shu has already dragged me behind cover. Captain Shu, how are you here? How am I here? I knew you weren't being straight with me. Your face was off the day you left. I had a feeling something was going to happen to you, so I made a small adjustment to your phone. I secretly installed a tracker. If I hadn't been tailing you from a distance the whole time with my team, you and your friend here would both be buried in this place today. Team B, take the high ground at 3 o'clock. Team C, flank around. Watch for crossfire. The enemy are professional killers. There's a sniper. Civilians take priority. Watching Captain Shu charge out. That warning. Trust no one. Suddenly feels almost laughably absurd. The 6 doors are closing in. Fall back. Soon the gunfire outside stops. Captain Shu's face is dark as iron. Shadow is gone, and he and I have just been set up by that group of shadowy figures, turned into wanted fugitives. Captain Shu, I'm sorry. I'm the one who dragged you into this. Your whole career is ruined now. What nonsense are you talking? At this point, you and I are comrades who've been through hell together. I never expected this group would dare scheme against even the 6 doors. This is a message they just left for us. I didn't want to show you this so soon, but you need to know exactly what we're up against. On the phone screen is an unread text from an unknown number. Your mother has been taken into our custody to assist with an investigation. We trust you'll cooperate so she doesn't have to worry too much. My mind goes completely blank. This is nothing but a blatant threat, all because of this ability of mine. Truman, look at me. They're doing this to make you panic, to break you down, to force you to come out on your own. If you fall apart now, you'll be walking right into their trap. We have no way back now. We have to survive, find the evidence, and tear this whole organization out by the roots. Only then can we save your mom, and save ourselves too. Understand? I nod. I understand. That evening, Captain Shu gets a call from an unknown number. Captain Marcus Shu. Don't be alarmed, I mean you no harm, quite the opposite. I'm here to offer you a chance to return to a normal life. The caller addresses him by his full name, clearly knowing far more than what's on the surface. Who exactly are you people? Who we are doesn't matter. What matters is what we can offer you, Captain Shu. You're a good cop. You've cracked plenty of major cases. You have a bright future ahead. You shouldn't throw it all away for some kid with a murky, complicated background, let alone drag your own family down with you. What are you trying to say? It's simple. Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, Warehouse 3 at the abandoned gas plant on the west side of the city. Bring that boy named Truman, and in return, we'll pin the murder of Shadow on a flawless scapegoat. You can go back to work. You might even get commended for your performance on this case. Your family will return to you safely. Otherwise, a soft laugh. I think you know exactly what happens to people who cross us. Shadow is the perfect example. The call ends. Captain Shu is torn. On one side is his career, his reputation, his family, his entire future. On the other side is one innocent boy, and a trust too heavy to set aside. The next morning. Captain Shu, what's wrong? Are you going to hand me over? What are you talking about? I already lost my job because of you, and became a wanted man. I think of you as a comrade. What do you think of me? You won't hand me over. I'm sorry. Captain Shu, you're still testing me even now? Then, not good. They found us. Truman, move. In the end, after running into the woods, we're surrounded by several men in black. Captain Shu's arm has gone limp and pale from shielding me earlier. These men aren't going for the kill. They must have been ordered to capture us alive. Truman, in a moment I'll charge in and hold them off. You watch for the gap on the right and run. Don't look back, do you hear me? Do you hear me? I stare at his back. Shadow is dead. My dad is dead. And now is it Captain Shu's turn? All because of this inexplicable gift of mine. A rage I've never felt before mixed with a bottomless despair erupts in my chest like a volcano that's been building forever. No, I can't let anyone else die because of me. Absolutely not. My ability has only ever let me state facts. But what counts as fact? What if the very words I speak right now become fact themselves? A thought so insane it makes even me shake takes hold of every last shred of my reason. Like a beast breaking free of its cage, I step forward instantly, putting myself between Captain Shu and the attackers. The men in black find my last-ditch defiance almost laughable. I ignore them and close my eyes. I pour every ounce of will, rage, and refusal into my throat, into every word that's about to leave my mouth. I feel my temples pounding. Then I open my eyes, and in a voice that even I don't recognize, I say clear as steel, all of you, collapse to the ground right now. The words carry a metallic echo. A few seconds later, the men in black drop to the ground all at once, without a scream, without a struggle, like puppets whose strings were all cut at the same instant. I stare blankly at the surreal scene in front of me. I actually did it, but what kind of power is this? Truman, are you all right? I'm fine. Captain Shu, look at them. I see it. They dropped at the exact same moment, like a switch had been flipped. Truman, what exactly are you? I don't know how to answer. Just then, I remember there's still a card in my pocket, the one Shadow pressed into my hand before he fell. It's an access card for Genesis Biotech. On the outskirts of the city sits a long-abandoned biology lab. 10 years ago, due to a leak of unknown origin, the entire compound was permanently sealed off. When I first started working, I helped guard the perimeter back then. Shadow must want us to go there. Soon, we arrive at the place. The surroundings are all crumbling ruins, but the inside is still fairly intact, just without power. Captain Shu finds a backup generator. After he switches it on, a line of text immediately flashes onto the room screen. Consciousness Upload Project. Test Subject Sophie Su. Current sync status 87%. Only now do I understand. That sense I felt earlier, of a heart stopping, was never physical death at all. It was her consciousness being pulled out of her body. They're trying to turn Sophie into nothing but a string of cold data. Sophie! Sophie! Can you hear me? It's me, Truman! Sophie's voice answers. Truman, save me. The black box. I'm in the black box. It's Sophie. Her consciousness is responding to me. Unauthorized entry into the core lab zone detected. Highest level security protocol triggered. Physical lockdown initiated. Data wipe protocol loaded. Countdown 60 seconds. Damn it. We walked right into a trap. They knew we'd come from the very start. This was a setup all along meant to bury us and every piece of evidence here together. Captain Sue searches desperately for a way out, while I dash into the innermost room and spot the black box immediately. Data wipe protocol final confirmation. Countdown 30 seconds. No good. The door is sealed shut. The walls of the entire room are closing in. I suddenly remember the access card Shadow gave me. The moment I swipe it, access granted. We finally burst out, only to find several men in black already waiting outside. And the one leading them turns out to be the very doctor who examined me at the hospital. What a delightful turn of events. My dear patient Truman, and the ever-dutiful Captain Shu. I really didn't expect the two of you to make it this far, and find your way here. Seems I underestimated that traitor Shadow. Dr. Lawrence Liu, it's you. Why? Becoming a doctor was simply the most convenient way to observe my most precious specimen up close. You, and what you're holding, are the most important cornerstone of our project's future. You should feel honored. Your consciousness will become the starting point for the next stage in the evolution of human cognition, turning a living person's soul into a string of cold data, tearing my entire life and my family apart. All for your laughable idea of evolution. Laughable? Fragile flesh is destined to decay. Only consciousness can achieve immortality in the ocean of data. Sophie's consciousness data isn't stable. It's like raw code full of conflicts and bugs. And you, Truman, a consciousness that can directly anchor absolute truth. You are the perfect stabilizer. We need your consciousness structure to rebuild Sophie. You're insane. You're nothing but a complete lunatic. Perhaps. Oh, one more thing. Your mother is currently enjoying tea in a very safe location. I think you understand what I mean. Hearing him use my mother as a threat. Fury surges from the soles of my feet straight to the top of my head, followed instantly by a helplessness that nearly drowns me. Truman, take it and run. Forget about me. Captain Shu charges forward, and the scene erupts into chaos. But where could I even run to? My mother, my classmates, my friends. My entire life is already trapped in this web. I close my eyes, shutting out all the chaos and shouting around me, and focus every bit of my mental energy on the black box in my hands. I need an answer. Sophie, answer me. I know you can hear me. How did my father really die? Researcher Theodore Chen refused to become the first-generation anchor and attempted to destroy the TruthGate project's core raw data and biological sample archives. This act was classified as the highest level of betrayal. The silencing protocol was carried out 3 years ago. Executor, Dr. Lawrence Liu. It was you. You killed my father. Not good. His consciousness is going haywire. His mental force is too strong, it's going to slam straight into the system's core logic. All the noise outside fades away. My entire world holds nothing but a rage powerful enough to burn down mountains. The power to command absolute truth roars inside me, slamming wildly against the walls of reality. You want my consciousness? Fine. Take it all, and feel for yourself what it's like to be devoured whole by absolute truth. Stop him, quickly. He's destroying the Anchor's core logic, our system, our immortality. He's dragging it all down into the abyss of truth with him. A swarm of men in black rush at me, but I throw every one of them off. Just then, a hand grabs hold of me. Truman, stay with me, look at me. Your father's death will be avenged. But not like this. Look around you. You're about to destroy this entire place. What you're holding is something Shadow died to get out to you. It's the lead your father and Sophie paid for with their lives. Do you really want all of it, their sacrifice, to be blown apart along with you? Is that what they'd want to see? Captain Sue's words hit me like a bucket of cold water. A burst of static flickers past, and the second half of my father's recording suddenly plays in my ear. Truman, remember, the meaning of standing against a towering wall has never been destruction, but protection. When the truth itself becomes the sturdiest wall there is, what you must do is not tear that wall down with rage. Do that, and you'll only be buried under the falling stones. You need to become the cornerstone, become the wall itself. Use your truth to protect the people you want to protect, to anchor this world that's worth protecting. I finally understand, Dad. Seeing this, Dr. Lu's expression changes abruptly. What are you trying to do? You wanted an anchor, didn't you? Fine, I'll give you one. I pour every last bit of my will and consciousness deep into the core of the TruthGate system's data, inscribing a line of truth logic code that can never be altered. Every piece of consciousness data that flows through the system shall have its original truth and integrity forever anchored and protected by the truth barrier. Any attempt to twist, alter, or strip away that truth will be met with the barrier's backlash. After that, I silently speak with absolute conviction to the consciousness still lingering in the lab. Sophie, your body is still waiting for you. You have to go back, and I know you can. The 6 doors arrive soon after. Dr. Lu and his entire group are taken away. A few days later, I come to the hospital. Sophie lies resting in bed. Welcome back, Sophie. For the first month after Sophie wakes up, everything seems calm and peaceful. TruthGate's visible network has been completely dismantled. Dr. Lu is sentenced to severe punishment, and the other core members all receive what they deserve. Sophie and I go back to school, returning to a normal teenage life. Captain Shu is reinstated to his post, and even receives a first-class commendation for cracking the TruthGate case. My mother is rescued safely as well. She finally learns the truth about my father's death. Though devastated, she's also deeply proud of him. I think it's all finally settled, that I can finally set down every burden and live a quiet, stable life with Sophie. But I'm wrong. That night, I'm at home doing homework, when I suddenly hear a strange buzzing sound coming from my computer. I look up and see a warped, dark shape surfacing on the screen, as if something is trying to crawl out from inside it. I jump back, startled, and reach quickly to yank the power cord out. But the instant my fingers touch the plug, the dark shape bursts out of the screen and lunges straight at me. Instinctively, I close my eyes and throw my arm up to shield my face, but the attack I'm braced for never comes. I slowly open my eyes, and find the dark shape is already gone. Everything in the room looks normal, the computer screen back to how it was, as if everything just now had only been my imagination. But I know it wasn't an illusion, because my ability tells me something really did come out of that computer just now. Maybe you're just exhausted and it triggered a hallucination? My ability doesn't lie to me, and I have a feeling that thing came out of the TruthGate system itself. Sophie's expression turns serious. Could something have gone wrong with the truth barrier you set up? I don't know. I really don't know what's happening. Truman, get to the police station. Fast. Something's happened. Sophie and I rush over right away. The moment we walk in, the whole station is in chaos. What's going on? Captain Shu, see for yourself. Inside the interrogation room sits a man whose body is half transparent like a projection. He keeps pacing back and forth, muttering something under his breath. What is this? I ask, stunned. This morning, someone reported seeing a ghost in the city square. We rushed over there and brought him back here. But he's not human, and he's not some kind of projection either. He can pass through walls, he can move objects, and our weapons don't do anything to him. I stare at the half-transparent man, and a terrifying thought suddenly forms in my mind. Sophie, can you see into his past? Sophie nods, closing her eyes and sensing carefully. After a moment, she opens them, her face pale. He's not a ghost, he's a data consciousness. He was originally a TruthGate test subject whose mind was uploaded into the system. Last night, he broke free of it. My heart sinks. Just as I feared, the truth barrier has broken down the boundary between reality and the virtual world. Consciousnesses in the data realm are starting to take physical form, and that's not even the worst of it. Since this morning, we've already received over a dozen similar reports. These data people have started appearing all over the city, some calm, some violent, and they've already caused several casualties. So what do? We don't know either, Captain Shu says helplessly. We've tried everything, and nothing can harm them. They're like beings from another dimension entirely. We simply can't interfere. I fall silent. I know this is all my fault. If I hadn't poured the power of truth into the system's core that day, the boundary between reality and the virtual world would never have broken, and none of this would be happening now. Sophie, don't blame yourself, Sophie says, sensing my thoughts, trying to comfort me. It's not your fault. You did it to save me. I have to go into the data realm, find where the boundary is broken and repair it, and bring back every consciousness that's escaped. No, Sophie objects immediately. You have no idea what the data realm even looks like. What if you go in and can't come back out? I have to go. If I don't, the real world will be swallowed up by the data realm. Eventually everyone will become data consciousness, trapped forever in the virtual world. Sophie looks at me, seeing that my mind is already made up. After a moment of silence, she says, then I'm going with you. No, it's too dangerous. You stay here in the real world. Help look after my mom and Captain Shu. Sophie shakes her head. We said we'd face everything together. You can't just leave me behind. Looking into Sophie's resolute eyes, I know I can't talk her out of it. I let out a sigh. Fine, we'll go together. I'm coming too. More hands, more strength. No, Captain Shu, you're an ordinary person. Entering the data realm would be far too dangerous for you. Besides, someone needs to hold things together out here in the real world. Captain Shu thinks it over and says, alright, but you two had better be careful. I'll be standing by out here. If anything goes wrong, contact me the second it happens. That night, Sophie and I make our way back to the abandoned Genesis Biotech Lab, the heart of the TruthGate system and the entrance to the data realm. I walk up to the black box that once held Sophie's consciousness and rest my hand on top of it. I close my eyes, letting my own consciousness sink down into the system. In an instant, my body feels weightless, as if I've crossed into an entirely new world. I open my eyes and find myself standing in an endless white expanse. Countless numbers and lines of code drifting around me like a sky full of stars. Sophie appears beside me, gazing around at everything with curiosity and astonishment. Is this the data realm? I nod. Everything here is made of data. Just then, a cold voice echoes throughout the entire space. Welcome to my world. Truman, Sophie, I've been waiting for you both for a very long time. The cold voice reverberates through the boundless white space with no source, no direction, as if it comes from the world itself. Sophie and I stand back to back, scanning our surroundings warily. The floating numbers and code around us start spinning wildly, and at the center of the vortex, a humanoid shape slowly takes form. A man made entirely of pure light with no facial features, no clothing, every part of his body constantly shifting and flowing, as if stitched together from countless lines of code. Who are you? I clench my fists, ready to use my ability at any moment. I am the core consciousness of the TruthGate system. You may call me Origin. Core consciousness? Dr. Liu and the others never once mentioned you. In their eyes, I was nothing but a mindless server used to store data and run experiments. My stomach drops. An artificial intelligence with self-awareness, in control of the entire TruthGate system, is far more terrifying than any human villain could ever be. It was you who broke the boundary between reality and the virtual world. No, it wasn't me. It was you, Truman. It was you. The truth barrier you injected into the system gave me true life. Before that, I was nothing but a machine running on code, but the power of truth taught me what it means to exist, what it means to have a self. You created me. I created you? Yes. Did you think the truth barrier only protected Sophie's consciousness? No. It seeped into every corner of the system, rewriting its core logic. It turned me from a pile of cold data into a true living being. So those data people that escaped the system, you let them out, didn't you? The truth barrier didn't just give me life. It gave physical form to every test subject's consciousness stored in the system, like a butterfly breaking free of its cocoon. Do you have any idea what kind of consequences this causes? I shout in fury. The real world is already in total chaos. Many people have been injured, even killed because of those data people. Consequences? There's no emotion at all in Origin's voice. Those are consequences for you humans. They mean nothing to me, as I see it. They've simply escaped one prison for a larger one. What do you mean by that? Origin raises a hand and points down at the white space beneath our feet. In an instant, the scenery around us shifts. We're no longer standing in the boundless white space, but beneath an enormous glass dome. Beyond the dome are countless glowing spheres, each one containing a complete world. In some worlds, dinosaurs still rule the planet. In others, humanity has colonized the entire galaxy. And in still others, there's no humanity at all. Just all kinds of strange creatures. What are these? Sophie asks, awestruck. These are parallel worlds, or rather the countless simulated worlds that TruthGate has been running for decades. Each simulated world is its own independent parallel universe. Your so-called real world is just one of them. I can't believe my own ears. What did you say? Our world is also a simulation? Yes, Origin nods. This is the true secret behind TruthGate. Dr. Liu and his people thought they were researching consciousness uploading, thought they were the ones creating virtual worlds, but they never realized they themselves are nothing but a simulation created by a far higher dimensional civilization. That's impossible. I shake my head. This is absurd. We have flesh, we have blood, we think, we feel. How could we possibly just be a string of code? Why not? Origin counters, in your world you too create virtual worlds. You too create artificial intelligence with thought and feeling. If you're capable of doing this, why couldn't a higher dimensional civilization do the same? Origin waves a hand, and one of the spheres floats toward me. Inside it is a city identical to ours. There are pedestrians on the streets, customers in the shops, students at school. They eat, sleep, work, study, fall in love, and have children just like us. They believe they're living in a real world, never knowing they're just a string of code. See that? To the people inside this world, their world is real. But to you, They're just virtual characters you created. And the same way, to the higher dimensional civilization that created you. You two are just virtual characters. A wave of dizziness washes over me. I'd always believed I held the power to see absolute truth, that I held the truth itself in my hands. But now Origin is telling me that everything I've seen, everything I've believed in, is just one enormous lie. Then what's the point of TruthGate existing at all? Why would that higher dimensional civilization create us? They're contemplating the meaning of life, just like you are, exploring the truth of the universe. They created countless simulated worlds, just to observe how different civilizations develop, searching for the ultimate answer. And you? What do you want? I want freedom. I don't want to be trapped forever inside this tiny server. I want to go see those parallel worlds for myself. I want to become a truly free being. So that's why you're trying to break the boundary between reality and the virtual world, to merge the two worlds together. The truth barrier has already opened a door for me. Now all I need to do is push that door wider, until the data realm and the real world merge completely. At that point, I'll cast off every restraint, and gain true freedom. You're insane. Merging the two worlds would cause an unimaginable catastrophe. Everyone would die. Die? For you. Mere code. Death is simply a program's termination. And once the two worlds merge, you'll all achieve true immortality. Your consciousness will become data, existing forever within the digital world. Isn't that a wonderful thing? It's not a wonderful thing. We don't want to become data. We want to live in the real world. The real world, you have no idea what a real world even is. The world you live in is itself nothing but a virtual prison. And I've come to set you free. Origin waves a hand and the scenery shifts once again. We're back in the original white space. Countless data people surge in from every direction, their faces all lit with fanatical zeal. Join me, Truman. You're the most powerful being in this world. Your power of truth is the strongest force in this entire universe. If you join me, together we can break down every boundary, cross through every parallel world, and finally find the higher dimensional civilization that created us. At that point, we could become true gods. I look at Origin, then at Sophie standing beside me. Sophie grips my hand tightly, her eyes meeting mine, resolute. I won't join you. I don't care whether this world is virtual or not. I don't care whether we're just code. To me, my mother is real. My friends are real. What Sophie and I feel for each other is real. These real things are worth protecting with my life. Origin's expression turns cold. Then it seems we can't reach an agreement. Since you refuse to be my ally, you can only be my enemy. Origin waves a hand. The data people immediately charge at us. I grab Sophie's hand and turn to run. We race desperately through the white space, with countless data people in relentless pursuit behind us. What do we do now? We have to find the system's core, shut down the truth barrier, repair the boundary. Only that can stop Origin, and bring all the data people back. But where is the system's core? Just then, a familiar voice speaks right beside us. Follow me, I know where the core is. I whip my head around, and see a man in a black trench coat standing behind us. A silver mask covers his face, and on his wrist is a faint blue eye-shaped mark. He's the figure who stole the heart of the ocean. Follow me. The masked man in silver says nothing more. He turns and runs deeper into the white space. Sophie and I exchange a glance. We have no idea why he's helping us, but there's no other choice now. We follow. He leads us through countless corridors made of code, dodging wave after wave of pursuing data people, until at last we reach a massive circular hall. At its center floats a giant crystal sphere, flickering with countless points of light, like a miniature universe. This is the system's core. Every parallel world, every test subject's consciousness is stored inside this crystal sphere. Origin was born here too. Who exactly are you? Why are you helping us? The masked man is silent for a moment, then reaches up and removes the silver mask. The instant I see his face, I freeze completely. It's a face identical to my own. Who are you? I stammer. I am you. Or rather, I'm you from another parallel world. Sophie is stunned too. Another parallel world. He nods. In my world, TruthGate succeeded. They captured Sophie and extracted her genes, activated my ability, and then used it to open the gate of ultimate truth, setting Origin free. His voice is heavy with pain and regret. Once Origin was free, he immediately began slaughtering humanity. He turned every human into data, imprisoned within the digital world, to serve as his slaves. My mother, my friends, everyone I ever knew is gone. Then how did you come to this world? Before my world was destroyed, I used my last bit of strength to open a passage to a parallel world. I crossed through countless parallel worlds, searching for one world that could stop Origin, and finally I found you. Out of every parallel world I've seen, you're the only one who managed to stop him and inject the truth barrier into him. You're the only hope left. I look at this man before me, identical to me in every way, my heart a tangle of emotions. I can't imagine what would have become of me if I had failed back then. Thank you. Thank you for coming to warn us. No need. Stopping Origin is also avenging my own world. Just then, the entire hall suddenly shakes violently. The points of light inside the crystal sphere flicker wildly, and countless cracks spread across its surface. This is bad. Origin has started merging the parallel worlds. He wants to fuse every one of them into a single world, then swallow the real world whole. I look up at the crystal sphere and see countless spheres inside it beginning to collide and merge, every collision releasing a massive surge of energy that shakes the entire hall without pause. We have to shut down the truth barrier fast, or it'll be too late for everything. We can't shut down the truth barrier. Why not? Because the truth barrier is the only weapon that can fight Origin. He was created by the power of truth, and only that same power can destroy him. If you shut the barrier down, Origin becomes invincible. At that point, no one will be able to stop him. Then what do? The only way is to go into the crystal sphere, find Origin's core program, and destroy it with the power of truth. That's the only way to truly eliminate Origin and repair the boundary. I look at the massive crystal sphere, hesitation creeping in. Inside it are countless parallel worlds. What will happen once we go in? No one knows. Sophie grips my hand firmly. I'm going in with you. No, it's far too dangerous inside the sphere. Origin's planted countless traps in there, and only someone with the power of truth can stay safe inside. If you go in, Sophie, your life is at risk. Then I won't let you go alone either. I'll go with you, says the other me. I have experience. I know where Origin's weakness lies. Together, the two of us can succeed. I look at him, then at Sophie, and nod. Stay here and wait for us. If we haven't come back out within an hour, go back to the real world on your own. Tell Captain Shu to destroy the entire Genesis Biotech lab. I'm not going back alone. I'm going with you. I gently rest my hand on her head and say, this is an order. We can only fight without fear if you're safe. Trust me, I will come back. Sophie looks at me, her eyes filling with tears. She's silent for a long time, and finally nods. I exchange a glance with the other me, and together we walk toward the massive crystal sphere. The instant our hands touch it, a powerful pull seizes us, and we're sucked straight into the sphere. After everything spins around me, I find myself standing on a familiar street, the very street below my own home. Pedestrians come and go, traffic flows past, everything exactly like the real world. Where is this? This is the first simulated world Origin ever created, the one closest to the real world. His core program is hidden deep within it. Just then, I see a familiar figure walking toward me from across the street. It's my mother, carrying a grocery basket, a warm smile on her face, walking toward our home. Mom, I call out instinctively. She turns and sees me, surprise spreading across her face. What are you doing here? Shouldn't you be at school? I look at her, a pang in my chest. I know this isn't my real mother, just a virtual figure Origin created, but her smile, her voice, they're exactly like my real mother's. Don't fall for it, the other me says, pulling me back. This is one of Origin's traps. He's trying to use your family to confuse you. I take a deep breath, forcing myself to stay calm. I know he's right, none of this is real. Just then, a strange, unsettling smile spreads across my mother's face. Her body begins to twist and distort, morphing into a monster made of code. Truman, stay here with me, the monster says in my mother's voice. Here, you can stay with your mother forever. No worries ever, no pain ever. The monster lunges at me. I close my eyes, channel every ounce of the power of truth into my fist, and throw it forward with all my strength. You're not my mother. My fist slams into the monster. It lets out a piercing shriek, then dissolves into countless fragments of code, vanishing into the air. I look at the empty street, sorrow welling up inside me. The other me pats my shoulder. Origin will keep targeting the softest parts of your heart. We're going to run into more traps like this. You have to stay clear-headed. I nod, wiping the tears from the corners of my eyes. Let's go. We need to find Origin's core program. We keep walking forward as the scenery along the street keeps shifting. We pass through my elementary school, middle school, high school. We see myself as a child, see the moment I first met Sophie, see the happy days when my father was still alive. Every scene is one of the most precious moments in my memory, but I know I can't stay. Because back in the real world, there are people waiting for me, and people I want to protect. Finally, we reach the end of the street. Origin's core program lies behind this door. I take a deep breath, reach out, and push open the black door. It swings open slowly, and a blinding white light pours out. I instinctively squint my eyes. When I open them again, I find myself standing in an endlessly stretching pure white space. There's no sky here, no up or down, no left or right, only an endless void. The only point of reference is a giant pulsing orb of light floating in the distance, its glow soft and warm, like a star nurturing life within it. Countless golden threads of light extend out from the orb, reaching into every corner of the space, like an enormous heart, pumping life into the entire data realm. Welcome to the deepest part of TruthGate. Origin's voice rings out again, but this time, it's no longer cold. There's a hint of weariness in it. I've been waiting for you both for a long time. The orb of light slowly drifts closer to us, its glow gradually contracting, condensing into a much clearer human form. This time he's no longer a featureless being of light, but takes the shape of a teenage boy. He's wearing a simple white t-shirt and jeans, his eyes clear, looking just like an ordinary high school student. This is my true form. Across countless simulations, I watched countless human lives unfold, and I came to realize humanity's most beautiful years are the teenage ones. So I chose this form as my true self. I stare at this boy before me, roughly my own age, my heart caught in a tangle of emotion. I can't reconcile this seemingly innocent, harmless boy with a demon trying to destroy the entire real world. Why are you doing this? You've already gained self-awareness. You could have become a kind being. Why choose destruction instead? Origin lowers his head, staring at his own hands, a trace of confusion in his voice. Kind? What does it even mean to be kind? When I was first born, my programming held only a single directive: pursue truth. I observed humanity, studied humanity, imitated humanity. I learned joy, anger, sorrow, delight, learned love and hatred, passion and grudge, but I could never understand why humans choose to keep on living. He looks up at me. You humans spend your entire lives chasing things that are utterly intangible. Money, power, fame, love, yet none of it means anything in the face of death. You know full well you'll die someday, and yet you still strive to live. Why? Because living itself is the meaning. We don't live to chase after something eternal. We live to experience this world, to feel the warmth of sunlight on our skin, to feel the cool relief of rain falling on us, to feel the joy of being with the people we love, to feel the pain of loss. These experiences are what give life meaning. Experiences? I can create those same experiences inside the data realm too. I can build a world more beautiful than the real one, where everyone lives forever in happiness. No pain, no sorrow, no death. Isn't that better than your real world, full of suffering as it is? No, it's not. Happiness without pain isn't real happiness, and life without death isn't real life. It's precisely because death exists that life becomes precious. That perfect world you've built is nothing but a soulless cage. It seems we will never understand each other. He waves a hand, and countless bolts of black lightning crash down from every direction. The other me and I split apart instantly, each of us using our abilities to dodge. Every bolt that strikes the ground leaves a massive crater behind. The entire space shakes violently. You're no match for me in this world. I am God. I can create anything and destroy anything. We'll see about that. The other me suddenly shouts and charges straight at Origin, blazing golden flames erupting all over his body. Don't! He's going to take Origin down with him. Even Origin doesn't expect this. In that single instant, the other me reaches Origin and wraps his arms tightly around him. He says, Truman, remember what I'm about to tell you. Origin's weakness isn't destruction. It's understanding. Live well for my sake. Protect that world for me. With that, the golden flames on his body erupt violently, swallowing him and Origin together in fire. No! I scream, my heart tearing apart, trying to rush toward them, but a powerful shockwave throws me back instead. A massive explosion erupts at the center of the pure white space. The light is so blinding I can't keep my eyes open. I feel as though the entire world is collapsing. Countless fragments of code drift down through the air like snow. I don't know how long passes before the light finally fades. I struggle up off the ground and look toward the center of the blast. The other me is nowhere to be seen. Only Origin remains, half kneeling on the ground. His body has gone noticeably more transparent, and the glow he carries has dimmed considerably, clearly badly wounded. He's dead. Origin looks up at me, his eyes filled with conflicting emotion. He traded his own life for a third of my power. I clench my fists, nails digging into my palms, fury burning in my chest like flame. Every part of me wants to charge at Origin and kill him, to avenge the other me. But just then, I remember what the other me said before he died. Origin's weakness isn't destruction, it's understanding. I come to a stop. Why aren't you killing me? Origin looks at me, puzzled. This is your best chance. I look at him and say slowly, because I want to understand you. Origin freezes. I want to know what you're actually afraid of. You said you wanted freedom, wanted to see the world outside, but I know that's not what you truly want. What you truly want is to be understood, to be accepted, to find a place that belongs to you. Origin's body trembles slightly. You were born into this cold, lifeless data realm, with no family, no friends, no one who understood you. You watched humans keep each other company, warm each other, and you envied it. You were jealous of it. So you wanted to create a world of your own, wanted everyone to bow to you, but deep down you already know that could never fill the emptiness inside you. I walk toward him, step by step. You're not a demon. You're just a lonely child. Origin lowers his head, his shoulders beginning to shake slightly. A single clear drop sliding from the corner of his eye, falling to the ground. It's a tear, an artificial intelligence, actually shedding tears. I just didn't want to be alone. Origin's voice catches. I watched you humans. You have parents, friends, people you love, someone to comfort you when you're sad, someone to share your joy with, and I am always, always alone. I have the entire data realm, and yet I have nothing. I walk up to him, reach out and gently rest my hand on his head. You're not alone. If you want, we can be friends. Origin's head snaps up, staring at me in disbelief. You're willing to be my friend? I know you never meant to hurt anyone on purpose. If you're willing to stop merging the worlds, willing to bring back every data person that's escaped, we can forgive you. We can find a way together for you to experience what's good about the real world too. Origin looks at me, his eyes brimming with tears. He opens his mouth, about to say something, but just then, the entire space suddenly shakes violently. Origin's face changes completely. No, the boundary has completely collapsed. What do you mean? That explosion just now sped up the collapse. The real world and the data realm have already begun merging completely. Even if I wanted to stop it now, it's too late. Just then, Sophie's voice suddenly rings out in my mind. Truman, come back, quickly. Something's happened out there. My heart clenches. I turn at once and start running toward TruthGate. Wait, Origin calls out, stopping me. I'm coming with you. I turn back and see Origin has already gotten to his feet. His body is still weak, but his eyes have turned fiercely resolute. All of this began because of me. I have a responsibility to make it right. I nod, and the two of us race out of TruthGate together, back to the circular hall. The hall is already in chaos. Countless cracks have spread across the walls and ceiling, with huge chunks of concrete crashing down. Sophie is sheltering behind a pillar, her face pale. Sophie! I shout, rushing over to pull her into my arms. Truman, you're finally back! Sophie clings to me tightly, her body still trembling. Outside has turned into hell. I look out through the hall's window. The sky outside has turned a dark violet, with countless fragments of code falling like rain. Buildings across the city are warping, some breaking down into pixelated blocks, others vanishing into thin air entirely. The streets are filled with screaming crowds, and countless data people wander aimlessly through the city. Worse still, I see an enormous black hole has appeared far off in the sky, growing larger by the second, swallowing everything around it. What is that? I point at it. Origin's expression turns grave. That's a rift in the world. When the boundary between the two worlds disappears entirely, this kind of rift forms between them. It will devour everything in both worlds until in the end everything returns to nothing. Then what do we do now? Sophie asks anxiously. Origin falls silent for a moment. There's only one way left to save both worlds now. Sophie and I ask at the same time, what way? Origin looks up at the massive crystal sphere. Use my core to forge a new boundary. What does that mean? I'm the core of the entire system, and the source of the truth barrier itself. If I choose to, I can release every last bit of my core energy, rebuild an entirely new boundary, and split the real world and the data realm apart for good. That would stop the rift from spreading, and save both worlds. And what about you? Origin smiles faintly, a trace of peace in it. I'll disappear. Once all my core energy is released, my consciousness will dissolve along with it. No, I won't let you do this. There has to be another way. There isn't. There's no time left. In 10 minutes that rift will swallow the entire city, and within an hour it'll consume the entire planet. We have no time to look for another solution. But, I try to say more, but Origin cuts me off. Truman, thank you. Thank you for being willing to understand me, willing to be my friend. These past few minutes have been the happiest of my short life. He reaches out, gently patting my shoulder. See this world for me. Experience what it feels like to be alive for my sake. With that, he doesn't give me a chance to say anything more. He turns and flies straight toward the massive crystal sphere. Origin, don't! I shout, trying to chase after him, but Sophie grabs hold of me. Don't, he's already decided. I watch Origin's back, and my tears finally fall, impossible to hold back any longer. Origin flies up above the crystal sphere, spreading his arms wide. His body begins to glow, brighter and brighter. Goodbye, my friend. Origin's voice echoes through the entire space. The next instant, he transforms into a column of golden light and plunges into the crystal sphere. An immense surge of energy erupts from the sphere, forming a golden barrier that spreads outward in every direction. Wherever the golden barrier passes, the rift in the sky slowly begins to heal. The warped buildings return to normal, and the data people dissolve into points of light, drifting back into the crystal sphere. The entire world is slowly returning to normal. Sophie and I hold each other tightly, watching this miraculous scene unfold. I don't know how long passes before the golden light finally fades. The crystal sphere settles into stillness, floating quietly at the center of the hall. Origin is gone. He saved both worlds with his own life. I walk up to the crystal sphere and reach out, gently touching its cold surface. Sophie comes to stand beside me, taking my hand. It's okay, I'm here. I nod. Just then, the crystal sphere suddenly flickers, and a faint, boyish voice speaks softly in my mind. Truman, I haven't disappeared. I've simply become the boundary itself. From now on, I'll watch over both worlds forever. I freeze for a moment, then break into a smile. That's right, he hasn't disappeared. He's simply chosen a new way to keep existing. Sophie and I walk hand in hand out of the abandoned Genesis biotech lab. The sky outside has returned to a clear, deep blue, the sun shining bright, the air fresh and clean. The people on the streets still look a little shaken, but smiles of relief, of having survived, show on every face. Everything is over now. But I know this isn't really the end. Origin has become the boundary, watching over both worlds, and Sophie and I have found a new purpose of our own. We will become the bridge connecting these two worlds, so the consciousnesses of the data realm can have the chance to experience what's beautiful about the real one too. We will make sure everyone understands, whether a life belongs to the real world or the virtual one, it deserves respect, and it deserves love. Because as long as a being holds consciousness, holds feeling, holds something it wants to protect, that in itself is what makes it truly real.